Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. In this video, we'll be taking a pair, making a multi-timeframe analysis breakdown, checking the order flows for the pair, so checking basically what hedge funds are actually doing on the pair, and this will help you understand which are the key concepts that you have to implement in your own trading plan and strategy. So without further ado, I will invite you to go and check out the video until the end because it will be filled with value, and we can also check basically how you can capitalize on the next moves on this pair. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a top author on the TRADINGVIEW platform, as well as running an educational program and swing trading full-time with my students. Okay, so let's speak about Euro JPY, a very interesting pair at the moment. Most JPY pairs are actually very interesting pairs to be following in this specific historical moment. Why? Because when you have a crisis around the world, what happens? Money should be flowing to the JPY in general, okay, as a safe haven. So what will happen? Most JPY pairs, actually, we can expect them to make moves to the downside. Now, the reason for which we're involved in this short position on Euro JPY with students is specifically, first of all, for this reason, but also because from a technical perspective, we have a technical perspective that is matching up perfectly what we want to see from a fundamental point of view. So what we will be doing, we will be making a multi-timeframe analysis on Euro JPY. I will show you the order flow, and we will see where we can capitalize if you're not already in the trade, or where we can be compounding this short with another trade. So basically what we will actually be doing if these certain conditions that I'm about to speak about will happen. So let's start here from a daily perspective. What do we have? We have a market that has created a very nice impulse to the downside, and it had created a nice retracement. Now, when the market was here, okay, I published an analysis on TradingView telling to all of you, be ready, be monitoring price action, because from here, this is the turning point for the next push to the downside on Euro JPY. You find the link to that analysis, by the way, in the description. What happened after that? Well, the market obviously started to melt, provided a very nice short opportunity from a 4-hour perspective, and obviously we are riding the trade at the moment risk-free with students. Now, what do we have next? Okay, what is the situation at the moment? Now, in general, if you see an impulse and a correction, what do you expect? You expect the next impulse to the downside and the creation of a lower low. So in this case, again, you expect the creation of a lower low. However, there is one very important thing to consider in this specific case. The market at this area has extremely strong support. This level here had basically stopped the market here and created this very high and strong rejection to the upside. Again, another huge rejection here. Again, the market had hit the level here. And will this time the market actually succeed in breaking this level to the downside? Well, that we don't know. But if it will break it to the downside, I will now show you how we can be capitalizing on another move on this pair. Now, from a daily perspective, what do we know? The market is trying to complete the impulse correction and impulse, and it is at strong support. This is what we have from a daily perspective. The last thing that I want to show you on the daily, and then we can move to the weekly, is that basically if you take your Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse, and that is exactly what you're supposed to be doing if you want information on a retracement, you can see that the market stopped exactly at the 50% retracement of the Fibonacci taken on the impulse. Now, if we go and see what is the situation from a weekly perspective, we can see that the market is at the moment, again, at a very strong weekly support area. If the market will break this, then it will be a big problem for Euro JPY, because definitely we can expect a big drop. Just a quick reminder, make sure you comment below and you let me know which pairs you would like me to cover in the next video. Will the market actually succeed in breaking this level to the downside? Well, that is not something that we can predict, but in general, trading is not predictive, trading is reactive. So what we can know is that if it will break the area, we already know what we will be doing, what kind of setups we will be looking at. Now, if we go and see what is going on from a COT perspective, so what hedge funds are actually doing on the JPY, what we can see, obviously, we see some shorts closing, minus 2.k shorts closing, minus 3.3k shorts closing, minor shorts adding with the last report, but obviously longs are starting to build up. We already had 11k long positions added here. Obviously, net positions are going very positive. It's been a long time since we actually had plus 22K net positions. We were all the way down at minus 47K net positions. We are now up 22K. So obviously money is definitely flowing at the JPY, and JPY obviously is getting stronger. And we have seen this, the market has just been, all JPY pairs have been making big moves down. So what we can basically take from this. Now, one thing that I want to show you, if we go and see the Euro COT data, so what hedge funds are doing on the Euro, what we can see. Euro is actually getting pretty bullish as well, because we are closing a lot of shorts. We are seeing them close a lot of shorts and opening longs. They're opening a lot of long positions on the Euro. So will the strength of the Euro be more than the strength of the JPY, and Euro JPY will actually fail to break this level to the downside, or will the JPY get stronger than the Euro and Euro JPY break this structure level to the downside? We can't predict that, but in general, we don't need to predict that. That is not trading. Our job was from here to take the short position. We took the short position. We are now risk-free on the trade. So if the market will now from here bounce up, we're out of the trade break even and we don't care. If the market will break this area, first of all, we are already in a trade that will give us a very high risk to reward if the market will melt to the downside. On the other side, we can again be looking for another short position, and I will now show you exactly how we can do that. Now, if the market will break this zone to the downside, then what will happen? We will have an area of extremely strong support that will be turned extremely strong resistance. And how we can take advantage of this? Well, if the market will make a retracement back inside of the area, okay? So if the market will actually make a retracement inside of the area, and it should, what we will have here, we will have extremely strong support, turn resistance, plus we will clearly have a confluence of Fibonacci levels. Why? Because we will take our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse that the market will create, and we will have a cluster of Fibonacci levels, obviously with the structure, as happens most of the times. And what we will also have, we will also have clearly a pattern, right? The impulse, a correction, and what do you expect after an impulse and a correction? You expect the next impulse to the downside. That is how the market moves. The market never moves in a straight line. The market always creates waves along the way, right? Creating lower lows, or if it's in an uptrend, creating higher highs. So how we will be taking advantage of this? Now, if the market will break the area and make a retracement back inside of here, what is your job as a trader? And what we will be doing with students, we will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame inside of this region, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. Obviously, my valid entry will not be the same as your valid entry. Everybody has different rules, but what we will be doing with students, we will be following the rules of our strategies because we know that those are tested and they work. So what we will be doing, as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a short according our rules for a good risk to reward and good probabilities for a nice push to the downside and creation of a lower low. This will be a very high risk to reward trade. Now, obviously, if when the market will why it is so important that you actually monitor on lower time frames if your rules are actually satisfied. Why do you need rules? Because you can stay away from trades when the probabilities are lower. So for example, if during this push to the upside, when the market will reach this area, you will see the price action on lower time frames just continue to push to the upside, then obviously what you will do, you will not take the trade because your rules will not be satisfied, and you will just wait for the market to break this area to the upside, and then if the market will go for a retest of the zone, then you can be looking for a possible long position. So as usual, being adaptive to the ever-changing market conditions as a trader. But at the moment, the best probabilities, if the market will break to the downside on the retest, is to be looking for a possible short position, and that is exactly what we will be doing with students. And if the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, then we will be taking a nice short, another short, with a good risk to reward and very good probabilities for a nice push to the downside. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, as well as going and checking out the mentorship program. You find the link in the description. You first get all the rules of my strategies and then you trade them live with me. Each and every day I give you a new daily market breakdown showing you where you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be basically executing the strategies with entry, stops, take profits, as well as having me answer every question that you have each and every day. So I'll invite you to go and check it out. The link is in the description, or you can go and check out the next video.